having me be a part of your project. It's pretty exciting to be able to tell my story and hopefully help you out. It's really neat that you've taken this opportunity to be able to talk about organ donation. So important to me and really important to, in my opinion, everybody out there, and it should be. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to you and be a part of your project. I'll tell a little bit about my story, just to introduce myself. My name is Alon Edwards. I'm Madison's uncle, and I have a little bit kind of leading up to, I've got a pretty unique story or understanding of organ donation, because I myself am an organ transplant patient, actually kidney transplant patient, a little over almost 6 years now. Just three months from now will be 6 years successful transplant. My story is I used to be an athlete. I used to be a football player. Played for University of Colorado. Started in '97, and from that time was during a routine physical. They found a little bit of protein. They found some abnormalities in my in some of the testing in my physical. They tested it, didn't take anything serious, just said let me monitor it and don't worry about it, it's fine, it's because of I'm an athlete and I have a little more muscle mass. Well, I ended up transferring from Colorado and played for BYU. So I played football for BYU. Felt like I was kind of on top of the world, you know, nothing could hurt me. I'm a big tough athlete. And several years after, 2007 so about 7 years after I graduated, I had something totally unrelated. Started having headaches pretty frequently. Realized that my blood pressure was kind of high. Went in and talked to a doctor. They took blood, and right from that, the second that the test came back, they called me and made it actually an emergency. Said, hey, you need to get in and talk to a kidney talk to a nephrologist immediately. And went in the next day. They took more tests, said that I was in kidney failure, needed to get on a very strict diet, monitor everything, go in for biopsies, and kind of put me in a whirlwind. Didn't know how to take it. Again, I felt like I was kind of untouchable, as a lot of younger people do, certainly athletes. I know it's kind of a mentality which is pretty detrimental. My blood pressure was up at 180 over 120, and they said that had I let it stay there for any longer, maybe another week or two, at the most a month, most likely would have been in the ER with a stroke and possibly could have died. So I was pretty lucky that I went in when I went in. So with a little bit of diet, which caused me to lose a lot of weight, but I was able to hold on to my failing kidneys for a couple of years, I think about 3 years. From that time, approaching, well, it was in 2006. At the end of 2006, I started my tests that were being taken every month. I was getting blood work done every month where they're checking my levels of my blood. Showed a drastic downfall or decline in my kidneys, and I got put on dialysis, which I can tell you at that time, with maybe a couple of things that were going on with me, but at that time of my life was clearly by far and away the worst time of my life, and worst time I could ever imagine going through, having to be on dialysis. Story gets a little bit more funky. Even before that, my whole goal was to get transplanted prior to getting on dialysis, and I was with a particular hospital. They had made some mistakes. We had tested a bunch of my family members. My father was picked as my donor, which the good thing for me is I have family that was really willing to donate. I had an overwhelming number of people that volunteered right when they found out that I had problems, and it turns out that